I glanced at Aaron Parnas's post. He shared a post that the White House put out of Trump with Uno cards saying he holds all the cards. In Uno, the object of the game is to have as few cards as possible. So you don't want all the cards.
Mhm.
So we're losing, sir. We're losing. You're holding Uno cards.
Dum-dums. Fucking hell. They can't even get that right. I did not see Aaron yet, but I did see Bofa D's.
That was perfect.
Yeah, that was actually.
Yeah.
Bofa D's did a video where he was like, he was pretending to have a doctor's appointment, and he was like, I need Aaron Parnas Adderall.
Who was saying this?
Bofa D's.
Who?
Bofa D's.
I don't know.
The
black
guy
creator that just lost his account.
Lost his million person account.
Mhm.
Okay.
How did he
You
lose
know
his
him.
account?
Huh?
How did he lose his account?
He doesn't really know. He thinks maybe it was political content or whatever.
3 women, 1 group chat, 0 chill. Shannon, calm until she's not.
Pop off when I need to.
LV, if rage baking was a person.
Fuck off, Betty Crocker.
Stacy, where charm meets consequences.
Did your mama let you go out like that?
The A Collective starts now.
All right, folks, here we go. It's another week of the A Collective. Welcome in. I am Shannon, and y'all, we're leading up to Mother's Day. It's in a few days, but I'm Shannon. Stacy, how you doing over there? You all right?
I'm good. I'm getting ready for Mother's Day with my wonderful mother. See what we get tossed and turned about to do. Grateful that she's here. And that is no joke. Like, I'm so grateful that she's here, but I don't know what's going to happen over the weekend. Whatever I plan might go out the window. So
She keeps you on your toes.
she does. V, how are you?
Hi. I'm a little sore and a little tired still, but it turns out, did you know that people train for 5Ks?
Yes.
I didn't
They
know
don't just go out there and raw dog it.
Yeah, which is what I did. Hills are awful. Starting to wonder if tornadoes are really that bad because Kansas, nice and flat. So, but otherwise, I'm great. How are you guys?
We're good. So you did your 5K this weekend?
Yeah,
Yeah. And you raw dogged it.
I did.
Do not recommend.
Oh, no.
I mean, did you get on a treadmill or anything beforehand to kind of prep, like
No.
leading up
Last time I did. This time, no.
Just didn't do anything.
She just got out there. She put on her clothes and said, you know what? Let's go.
I mean, I still was running an 11-minute mile. It's not terrible.
You should have trained for that. Loosen up the leg.
What? It wasn't just me being like, my child too was like, what are these hills?
Yeah, I don't enjoy running at all.
I've never enjoyed running.
At one point,
Never.
I did think I wanted to. I think I was trying to force myself to like it, but y'all's brother does every day. So I'm like,
For some people, that's stress relief. But yeah, no.
for me, it was stressful.
I've never liked it. As a child, the presidential physical fitness test involved running a mile. It was a no back in middle school, dog. It was a no. Speaking of childhood, y'all, so I had a funeral I had to go to this weekend.
Well, you know we love funeral stories. Let's get into it.
Nope. This person
not one
was
of those?
like, this was a very dignified, because this person was very prominent in Metro Atlanta, prominent. He left his footprint across the state of Georgia. So no, not that kind of funeral. Not that kind of funeral at all. No,
Man.
but where it was, no, I know. No. Although, listen, we all love a good show. So let's be clear. Like, the hearse that had the body was like an old fashioned 1930s car and all that kind of
Wow.
stuff. Yeah.
Very dignified.
Very dignified. And it would have been a lot of dignitaries. There were some, but it would have been more dignitaries at this funeral, if not been at the same time. Both of these men were giants in their own right. But this funeral took me back through my childhood. So the funeral was at my childhood church, the church I was baptized in. And then as we made our way to the cemetery, we passed an apartment complex that I remember living in kind of the longest as a small child, like a 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old child. It was the apartment complex. I became a latchkey kid because I was a latchkey kid.
Okay.
And so then I had like fond memories, and the cemetery's right by where I went to elementary school. All the memories, all the feels. And I thought about it as we're running up on Mother's Day because my mother and I spent a lot of time
Mhm.
My parents were together back then, but my dad was a traveling electrician, so he went wherever there were jobs. So he frequently worked in like Chattanooga and some other places where he could get work. And so I spent a lot of time with my mother in these places, and my mother had me very active in the church. I was in the choir, I was in the Girl Scout troop.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother served on the Nurses Guild, kind of all, all
All
these
the
very
things at the church.
all the things. So it kind of I was sitting there having very fond memories, especially as, in the lead up to Mother's Day, which I have very mixed feelings about, which we may touch on. But it was giving me all the childhood feels as we were going. And I was thinking about how my mother was like, you better not lose that key when she first let me go. I got to go home and ride. I got to ride the bus and be a latchkey kid like the last 3 days of school, I think my third grade year
Okay.
as a trial, as a test.
Did you pass the test?
I did because I was scared of my mama. She
Okay.
was gonna get me if I didn't, do what she said.
Mind your P's and your Q's.
Absolutely. You come in, you lock the door, you don't open the door for nobody. Don't care what they talking about, you don't open the door. I had designated snacks I could eat. I was to do my homework. So by the time she got home and cooked dinner, it would all be
Out of
done.
the way.
Yeah, basically ready, you get ready to take a bath and take your tail to bed and do it all over again. But I got to do it like the last 3 days of my third grade year as a
Oh,
trial to make sure I could do it. And she would call me when she thought I was home, and I would assure her I was fine and all the things.
that is not happening nowadays. I can tell you that.
No, oh no, I think defects would be called if you let an 8-year-old go home and stay home by themselves
Really?
now.
Well, I just think that what we see with parents, like, I don't think people are really checking in on children. It's kind of a free for all. Parenting has
Mm,
changed.
it
Yeah,
has
big time.
definitely changed.
Yeah,
It's
it's
definitely changed. But
totally
like
different
the rules around, I think from the Department of like Family and Children's Services, whatever people call it in each
in
of our
each state.
states, has changed, like with regard to kids being left alone. Like
Okay.
you can't, like
So
I
it's an
think,
age.
yeah, it is, and I think it
Is
is
it
like
12?
maybe
Well,
I
it depends on the state.
depends on the state. So
Okay.
I know here in Georgia, elementary schools offer aftercare.
Yes.
Middle schools do not. Middle schools do not offer aftercare. And so I think at that point, I guess kids are allowed to go home by themselves. And I forget what it is. I'll have to ask one of my good friends who is in the child advocacy space. Like when they're 8, 9, 10, you may be able to leave them home for like an hour, 2 hours or something. It's like their rules. And it's like the time gets gradually increased the older they get. But I was home for, hours on hours. And then my fourth grade year, my mother left home before I did. So not only to go to work, so not only did I have to let myself in the afternoon, I had to let myself out in the morning. And I was a little girl and being a latchkey kid, not in the same area, but I was still living in Metro Atlanta during the Atlanta missing and murdered children's time frame.
Yeah, that I was gonna say, wouldn't that have been the "Do you know where your children are" era? Because
I
I've
was
listened to a number of podcasts about
My God.
those murders.
It was a really big thing, but it
Yeah.
was it was closer kinda to where I had an aunt who used to babysit me. It was closer to over there where she lived, not where we were living in Metro Atlanta, but yeah, I was a latchkey kid. I mean, there were many kids who were latchkey kids during that time frame.
Wild.
Yeah, we would get off the bus, and actually, the specific time period I'm really thinking about, the bus didn't even come down into the complex. It let us off at the entrance, and we had to walk, and we lived in the back of the complex. There were other kids, and my mother always called, but yeah,
Yeah, but she called you on the house phone. You did not
yeah.
have a cell phone. You did
So
not
that
have a
And
you had
mobile. You had to get in the
you had to
house.
make it to the
Yeah.
house.
and did not and never knew when I doubled back to the Dairy Queen that was right outside the apartment complex entrance to get something and then come and then walk all the way to the back to the apartment. Yeah. Yeah. That was during that time. So I was a little girl during that time frame. I remember all of that. I remember it being on the news. I remember Wayne Williams being arrested, kind of all the things. All the things around that.
Shit was great.
Yeah, I don't. No, I wouldn't. really too much of a latchkey kid for too long. I don't know if I was to be trusted at home by myself. I may have been a little bit bad. Just a
May?
little bit. Just a little bit. Just a
Really
tiny.
now?
Yeah. But I always had, like, going to my grandparents, and we talk about my grandparents a lot because I would go to their house a lot of times, get picked up, go over there, and my great-grandmother was there. Yep, and she was born in 1896. So, it was always fun to have a great-grandmother that, like, "Okay, what do you have to do? We gonna eat a sandwich, and you gonna do your lesson."
Go get that lesson.
Yeah, before your mama comes to get you, and it was like, I don't wanna do my homework. I wanna finish watching Days of Our Lives, because that was on during the time that you'd get there, and I'm like, "Days of Our Lives today. No." So,
Mhm.
but I always pretty much had supervision until I got older, but no, no. I don't think I really enjoyed being by myself because I could get into some mischief, and so it's like, I'll avoid
No,
that woofing.
I was a good child. I played well by myself.
Did you?
There were
I think I played well by myself. I didn't like other people coming over and playing with me and my things.
think that so I used to
Whatever,
our family
whatever.
used to say that we're like a lot of times you're either like your mom or your dad. Was your mom that kind of way as a child? What
I
kind of
mean,
child was your mama?
we talked about my mama offline,
But
so,
was
I
she
mean,
that
what do
kind
you
of
think?
child? So, like, my mom was the type of child who stayed, like, under my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and so my mother was, like, a really, good child, wasn't gonna cause any trouble, and I was reflectively that kind of child, like, I literally came in, I could not use the toaster oven, I had, like, fruit cocktail and Jello. Like, before the week started, she made sure I had, like, enough snacks so that when I got home, I knew the snacks I could eat. I wasn't to touch the stove, nothing like that. And then sit down, do my homework. So I would sit down,
Get your lesson.
I'd get my lesson all by myself before my mother ever got home. And then I could play. Once I got my lesson, I could play. So then I had like puzzles, books, and I was that child. So I would just sit there. My mama would be coming home and I would just sit there and I'd
Nah,
be reading or playing with a puzzle with the TV on.
nah, not Stacy.
In fact, my mom's first job ever was putting the maraschino cherries in fruit cocktails.
Wow. Yeah,
Really?
I used to love me some fruit cocktail and then jello, mainly without fruit cocktail, but
Mhm,
then
Yeah.
sometimes mom would make it with
The
fruit
jello, yeah.
cocktail.
The
mhm.
jello
Make it
molds.
good. Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't do well by myself. I needed a little supervision because I would find something to get into.
But yeah, no, I was not a mischievous child. Well, no, let's
Yeah.
be clear though. But let's be clear. Well, I wasn't a mischievous child with my parents not at home. We won't talk about the time I set fire to the carpet. And my mother, I think both my parents were home. And they were like, "What is that smell?" Nothing. Six. It's not six. I thought closing the door, they wouldn't notice.
That's smart.
Meanwhile, my dad's computer caught on fire, and I come booking it down the stairs at like 4 years old, going, "Daddy, your computer's smoking!" I
Yeah.
didn't do it. Probably did. I don't remember. But I mean, I wasn't left
Yeah, I'm
at
sure you
home.
did it.
Yeah, I probably did. But I wasn't left at home alone really until a little bit later, just purely because my mom didn't, when I was in elementary school, she was a total stay at home mom. So
Mhm.
she was home. But then I think it was like middle school, high school is when she really started to like work again. And then, yeah, latchkey. Like I would just go home and I had to do my stuff. And because if I didn't,
There were
it
going to be
wasn't going to go
consequences and
well.
repercussions. So,
Yeah, it wasn't gonna go well at all. So,
so growing up, what kind of consequences and repercussions, LV, did you have?
I mean, there was slapping, there was spanking, there was telling me she didn't care if I was raped or in a car accident. There was telling me she hated me. There was telling me she wished she had never had me.
A little verbal abuse?
Yeah,
Wow.
and physical. Yeah, because she beat the shit out of me.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, I do understand. And maybe that is why, like, I walk this fine line of like with Sloan, like, no, she knows when to cut it out because it won't be pretty. My mom comes out, unfortunately. But yeah, I
So
mean,
you parent differently, kind of
big
on
time.
purpose. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, I feel like a lot of my friends who are parents work to parent differently than they were parented.
Yeah. I mean, she never was that kid that was like in a store throwing a complete fit. She did start crying and throwing a little bit of a fit outside of Hermes, but it wasn't like on the floor.
I mean, look where she threw a fit.
But like it wasn't like on the, you see those like kids that are like on the floor and their parents are like trying to get, she has never once thrown any kind of like fit in public.
Baby, most Black kids don't do that.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I
I
did
know.
once.
And
You
like,
showed out, Shannon? I did one. And it was about some tennis shoes. And I got beat
Mine was
in the
I
store.
wanted a cash register. My mother had gone, she had picked me up, and we had gone to Kmart so that she could get pantyhose.
Stockings.
Pantyhose for work. Well, don't forget my mother was a nurse, so
Mhm.
full hat, white uniform, pantyhose, all the things.
Mhm.
And so she told me, she was in line and I was like, oh, I want it, I want it, I want it. She was like, and let's say maybe it was Tuesday. And she was like, I'll bring you back Friday when I get paid. She was like, she had enough money to like get her pantyhose and maybe have lunch for like, to get through the week. But we would Friday. Baby, she said that I told her that wasn't good enough with my actions. I proceeded to cry and show out. And she said she was so embarrassed because she kept telling me, I will bring you back Friday. Bring you
right.
back Friday.
But you weren't understanding that at that moment.
I wanted that cash register then. So she proceeded to we got out the Kmart and she said she got me good from the door of the Kmart all the way up the parking lot to the car. Didn't I tell that what Stacey calls syllable? Syllable. Didn't I tell you I
My
would bring you back on Friday? She was like,
Did you go
I
back
was
on
so
Friday and get it?
I don't remember.
You
Because
probably didn't because you had showed your ass
Mhm.
and there is no reason that we should bring you back here.
That
You
that
acted
was
up.
always and I do that with Sloan. Like the one time she got like kind of icky about when I was like, no, we're not getting it today. We will think about it. If you are still thinking about it in a week, And she threw such a fit once we got in the car because she's smart enough to know not to do it in public. Because I did use my mom's trick. She wouldn't, there was no like syllable spank it. There was none of that in public. In public, she would take my wrist and dig her nails. I'm surprised that I don't have permanent scarring because she would leave a mark for a couple hours just digging her nails into the inside of my wrist. And that was how I knew to stop whatever I was doing.
Yeah, I got a church pinch. Always knew it was a church pinch. Like there were certain
We had the church
things,
pinch.
and it would get here, and you would twist it. When
Mm-hmm.
you act up at
They get
church.
your arm and
Yeah, get
yep,
that
that
meat,
one.
and you
never
twist.
had that.
You didn't have
Yeah.
that? Well, I had
No,
that.
I was just told stop. And the thing was, I would try my mother far more than I would try my daddy. All my daddy had to
Absolutely.
do was look at me and say it once and basically be like, I'm not repeating myself. I don't repeat myself.
Yeah,
I'm
and
so
shout out to
scared of
all
my
the
daddy.
moms because I think all of the moms get tried more than daddies.
Yeah.
And thank you
I
for putting
definitely
up
tried.
with us because I know I did my mother, and she didn't she embarrassed easy. So if we were somewhere and I would get loud about something that I wanted, she would be like, okay, just come on, because we're going to get it. We're going to get out of here. She would be embarrassed. My daddy didn't have any embarrassment about it. He would be like, I will knock the shit out of you. Like, no.
Never had that because I always got the classic, we going in this store, don't touch nothing, don't ask for nothing. Keep your hands to yourself. Just behave. Just behave.
Do you think parents are doing that now? Like when we've seen our friends that have children and we've seen some behaviors. I know social media has put a spotlight on behaviors that we see of how kids are acting. Do you think parenting has changed? Mothering has changed since we were growing up? Because we're all kind of in the same realm.
Mothering has definitely changed, and LV's the only mother here, so she can probably speak to that better than we ever could.
Yeah. It's changed in this weird way because like I thought the Barbie movie actually put it really, really well. Like
Mhm.
we're expected to do everything all the time. And then it's like I think so many of us, kind of like Shannon had said, we don't necessarily want to do it the same way as our mothers did, whether it was because maybe our mothers had some psychological issues that they didn't deal with. And so, took it out on their children, or they just don't want to do it the same way, or the whole and I do think because, like, I'm right at the beginning, I think, of like when gentle parenting kind of started to become, because, it was kind of that era of like everybody gets a trophy, da 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 da, was shortly after me. And so I think that some of us are bucking against it, and then others have really leaned into it to the point where we end up with asshole children who do things and their parents just stand there and watch. It's like, it's not like a dog. Okay. I understand when a dog is acting out, you're supposed to ignore them. That is not what we do with children. Okay.
Yeah, to me, like I see my friends that have children and I watch how they parent, and a lot of them are
It's like, okay.
friends. Like they're friends with their kids, but it's a healthy boundary. It's not like, hey, girlfriend, and they talk to them any kind of way, but they want to give them respect, let them talk things through. Like we didn't get to explain while we were, misbehaving, and this is the reason that we were doing that, or my feelings. Like now it's
Didn't
more in
matter.
touch with feelings. And I mean, I commend them for that. I do see that.
'Cause I
I
don't
eat
care how you feel.
No, it's what I
Yeah.
say.
It's what I said. Do as I say,
Yeah. I,
Exactly. And
I
because I
don't ask.
said so.
Exactly. Don't ask why. And so I do see that evolution, especially with the good parents. But then, of course, social media highlights the other parents that we see that just have bad behavior. And I don't know if it was because social media wasn't around, but there was never a time that I would be at a club with my mama. And we're seeing that now. Like, it's just strange stuff. And like, I'm going to even touch on the prom stuff. Like, some of this stuff that I have seen from prom attire, girl, I would have been beat. My mama would have never bought that. Like,
it was basically like a sweater set because like the top was like a cardigan shell basically, and then it had a matching cardigan, like a cardigan.
have on.
That was junior year. Senior year, I looked like a fucking Easter egg with a ball skirt and a strap. It was strapless, but it was full corset. Like these now, ladies, you have the right to wear whatever you want and not have
When you're
men
out of your
touch
parents'
you.
house.
However, y'all are looking like hussies. Some of
And I'm just like, when I look at that, and so my cousin and I went down the rabbit hole of prom attire this weekend because it's prom season.
wait, did you go?
Mhm.
Did was it? Did it come back? What did they call it?
Yeah.
Hood. What is it? What's
Yeah.
the
Well,
term?
I
I
think
know I
it's Hall
probably
of
shouldn't be
Prom.
saying it.
They have a site on Instagram and it's called Hall of Prom. And so you'll see like different variations, and some of this stuff is not really nice. But we went down a rabbit hole, and it was from some mom paid $27,000 for her daughter to have like a Cinderella reveal, and it looked like a wedding reception for her send
Stop
off
it.
with like white flowers. Like it was absolutely gorgeous. But again, I think back, we're talking about parenting. If my mom had that, would we have done it? Absolutely not. And then some of the dresses that I saw and what was out, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, I might as well have seen a Cuda cat. I mean, just slit all the way up here. I saw boobs exposed, and I was like, there is no way that we could have went and my mom paid for this, because we try on clothes, like especially a prom gown. I remember going to Glitz here in Nashville, and I think they're still open, and going in there and trying on the dress and come out. And both parents, they're like, let me see, turn around. It's too, something is here. Can you pull it in? Like, I'm just like, what is going on now? So these kids, I don't know who tried on what, who bought it. Like, wow.
These mamas.
I think some
Go
of these
ahead.
moms took a page from like the Mean Girls mom. What is it? Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler is like, I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom, and I'm like, no, no, stop. Don't they, did they not watch that movie? Dog is chewing on her nipple because she can't feel it. Like, no, we don't want to be that mom.
It's rough. And that's the question that I keep going back to. These new mamas, like, what are they doing?
They're living out what they would have wanted. So they're living out some of their fantasies. I mean, my aunt and I were having this conversation that, these prom dresses for a lot of these girls, they're starting at $1,500. These dresses are starting. They get them custom made. They're starting at $1,500 and they go up. And then these prom reveals, whatever they're calling them, send offs, they're spending quite a bit of money. I saw somebody who had basically like concert rigging. Aside from the sound, but they had the lighting truss and they had an LED screen brought and sat right in front of their garage. And there was a whole theme and a backdrop. And I mean, people go all out like now. And I will say this, it's primarily Black people because there was a Stacey, I don't know if you saw the very controversial post about the young lady who said that the reason Black people do this is because these girls aren't gonna get married, and this is basically like them having a wedding. But yeah, that was a
I
whole
didn't
thing.
see
But
that.
what? But like there's a lot that goes into these now, and parents are spending lots and lots of money. And some of them, I've seen some of the posts where it's like, the kid got a full ride to
Mhm.
college. They got 20 offers. So this is the least we can do, for our kids' senior year as we send them off to.
So the little girl, I think that her mom, like, had a parking lot converted, this $27,000, like, a parking lot.
I believe it.
And it was amazing. I'll have to send it to you guys. And I was like, okay, mom had a couple of businesses. So you know that they're doing well. And I do think the girl had multiple offers for school, but she had her clothes laid out. And it's like nothing for these girls to have Tom Ford shoes, Christian Louboutins, like all of the things to go to prom. And there is no way that my mother would have bought that if she could afford it. Like,
If
we are
you're
not
doing that
doing
for
that.
if you're doing
What
it
do
for
you do?
prom, what are you gonna
What
do
are
What
when
do
you
you get married?
aspiring
Yeah.
to? Exactly,
You're
because
setting those
college.
expectations.
Absolutely.
I've been discussing this with my friends for a really long time because living in a college town, you watch it happen, right? Because we see these kids like right as they are thrust from their nest, right? And the apartments that are going up that are becoming common. I
Yeah.
had avocado green carpeting in
Yeah.
my college apartment. It hadn't been updated since the 70s, right? Like, I think I had a new fridge, but it was, the bottom of the barrel basic fridge. Like, they're living, we are setting these kids up to just not, because all they do is just take and take and take and take. And then they don't understand because their parents are calling and being like, why'd my baby get a C? Right? So it does kind of concern me. My parents had the money. My prom gowns came from Neiman Marcus, but
They were age appropriate, right?
they were age appropriate. And we took pictures at a friend's house, and then we didn't even rent a limo, I don't think, either year. We just borrowed our parents, like whoever's parents had the nicest cars. We borrowed those and went to dinner at some restaurant and then went to prom and then got stoned afterwards. And I took a picture of the sidewalk because I liked the shadows. I thought the shadows were fun, forgot the flash was on. So then I ended up with just a picture of a sidewalk. But
Yeah.
yeah, what are we setting up for?
It's wild. And this
Because
is
we're
a
setting these
parenting thing.
expectations
And thank you, mom, for not,
But I think
allowing this.
parents, to an extent, feel the pressure,
to keep
right,
up.
to keep up, to give them maybe what they
Didn't
did not
have?
have as kids. And I really do think social media plays a
Huge.
huge part in the whole keeping up with the Joneses kind of situation, which is crazy, but it's a reality because, I look at prom, but then we're also in graduation season
I was just about to say,
and collegiate, particularly HBCU graduation photo shoots.
Top
Like
tier.
every year, like my godchildren are like, man, these FAMU people are out here just showing out. Like, because these kids are doing some next level photo shoots, but there's the pressure to compete and do all these things. And I need to have a photo shoot. Doesn't matter how elaborate or not elaborate it is. I just think it's, at what point are we gonna, because we keep going and going and going and going, when are we gonna hit a ceiling
Boy,
We're
because
gonna
it
on
hit
gets
it?
it.
crazier and crazier. Because I watch it at Penn State. Because I mean, they get pretty crazy up here too. Like climbing up things to get shot. It's nuts. But and it's not just college. Because do you know that your niece is graduating 5th grade? I will
Was
just let
there a
that sink in. We can go
ceremony?
back to college graduation, but I had to order a cap and gown for a 5th grader.
And I have a problem with that. You're not graduating 5th grade. You're being promoted to the 6th
You're
grade.
passing.
Well, but I've had a problem with that whole concept for years, like the 5th, the 8th grade kind of thing. Ken
It's just going across the street.
Kindergarten used to not be compulsory. So, like when I graduated from kindergarten, it wasn't mandatory that kids go to kindergarten. So I can understand graduating from kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
I can understand that one.
I can't.
But like,
Or what
It's
about
she's at the
pre-K?
same school. Pre-K, maybe.
Pre-K
Preschool,
heading to
maybe.
a real school.
Yeah.
Like I see that.
well, it depends. I don't know. Is kindergarten compulsory across the United
Yeah,
States now?
it is
Because, like I
now.
said, it was not compulsory
No,
when
it
I
is
went.
now. I'm
And my
pretty sure.
parents
Yeah.
opted in, and I
No,
went to private kindergarten because there was no kindergarten in
I'm
elementary
pretty sure
school.
that well, who knows? Because we don't have a Department of Education anymore. But um, pretty sure that it is required now in
Yeah,
all 50 states.
I mean, the kids are just being promoted, but
No
we
child
have
left behind.
No.
And
baby,
that's a whole different story in itself.
we've got all these graduations. It's like, no, you just being promoted to the next grade. And I'm one of those parents. I am happy for you, but you're just doing what you're supposed to do. Because my
I
expectation
told
is
her.
that you will get promoted for every grade. Now,
If we got to sit you down, we're going to have
I
some
had to have
talk.
a
if we got a
conversation with her.
situation, we
And this
need
is
to be
what's getting ready to
talking.
be
But like we're celebrating the
mediocrity.
ordinary and just what is like the floor, the minimum. At a minimum, you should be getting promoted every year. But
Yeah.
like, no, we got to make it a graduation. I don't know about there, but 8th grade requires a dance and a
Yeah,
whole like
there's a
Yes.
dance. There's no graduation, I don't think, for 8th grade
No, it's a
here.
big dance that because you're
Yeah,
going to high school.
it's just a big dance. But this
But it's
whole
like a prom. It's a mini prom though.
oh, I don't know.
it
Oh God, I hope
is
not.
and
Because
is.
I
These
saw some
parents
adults
have to
pictures too. Yes. Yeah. No, I saw some kids.
make
She's wearing her Easter dress to her choir concert and her orchestra concert. So I told her she could get a different dress for graduation because all the
Yeah. 8th grade is like a mini prom. I'll send pictures when we get off. I saw and like little boys in I mean, they didn't have on tuxes, but nice
suits.
little suits. And the girls had on dresses, like look better than some people going to senior prom. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
We are going to do a cute little photo shoot of her like going across the street, because it is across the street for us. But, so a couple cute little photos like that. We'll get a couple photos together. But no, we're going to have dinner with my dad. But we always have dinner with my dad to
Yeah.
celebrate the end of the school year.
But y'all go to dinner with your dad all the time. Like you go.
Every Sunday night, we have Dairy Queen. So we'll probably do something a little bit more special than Dairy Queen. But
But just think about it. Like it's so many expenses now, and
and-
kudos to the parents, like for doing what they do. And I know the moms are out here doing the dresses. Like moms are the ones that are going and whatever it looks like. I mean, even if your tail is out, moms are the ones that are
no, I can
doing it.
promise you that my child's tail will not be out.
I mean, would you let her have Tom Ford shoes when she goes to prom?
No.
Shannon, if you had,
we're gonna keep track of this.
I
No,
know.
I was not
Because
allowed to
I think
have.
this is going
You think it's
I
going to go left?
predict
Yeah.
it about what,
Now,
6
wait,
years?
now, let's
6 years I
say
see this going left.
Okay.
no, but let's say she ends up at the same shoe size I do. I might let her borrow a pair of designer shoes for prom. I will not be buying her I didn't know. We have a rule in our family that you don't get designer shit like that until you're at least 21. That was when I got my first. That was when my mom got her first. Like it is just a thing.
Trend.
you might get hand-me-downs or something like that, but you ain't getting something new that is that level. And let's be real, unless this business of mine really takes off, I won't be able to afford it because gas is over 5.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
Shannon, would
LB.
you
I
do it?
love you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you because let me tell you. So this is how I predict this is going to go in about 6 or 7 years, right? Oh my God, she's such a good child.
She can have some
She
of these.
she does everything I ask, and she is just crushing it in school.
I can tell
So,
you that won't happen.
we're doing okay. I just think, I just felt like she deserved it. And she really had been looking at these throughout the whole school year. And that
let's
is
mark
my
this.
friend. That is my friend.
I know,
I
but
totally see her
no, not that
giving
level though.
in.
I don't go that crazy.
But LV, we've seen you in action during the summer. Oh, I need to do this because S doesn't have this and this idiot, baby, junior in high school, senior in high school, and she's crushing the game. Nope, nope, nope. You're gonna be like, she deserves this.
So
I
I
want
shouldn't
to
mention
reward
the
her because she's just doing so good. And yeah, I
sh-
totally,
I shouldn't
LV,
mention the $70 jelly cat that I bought her a couple weeks ago.
See, you went back, you got the cow, Easter, all the things. LB, mark
We
my
found it
words.
in town. It is
So we
super
got 3
limited.
years of middle school, and so 5, 6 years when she's a junior / senior.
We gonna come back here and talk about
Yeah.
this?
No, but I know.
This
And I do a
this
lot of
clip
crazy
needs
ass
to be
shit.
pulled and put in a Google Drive and marked do not open until
Gotta be
S's
editor.
junior year and revisit it again her
Gotta be
senior
editor.
year.
But here's the thing. There is a limit to my crazy. I promise you.
Not when as she grows
have an
up.
Hermes
And
bag
I'm telling you, if she crushes it, if she's
ain't
crushing
gonna.
it in
I
school,
can promise you she's not going to.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, girl. We're gonna come back
Right?
to this one.
baby,
'Cause
mark
me and
it
Shannon
and
are like,
pull it.
I can see it.
I just say there is a limit to my insanity. And she has also gotten a lot better about not asking for everything. I think it's because I constantly have to be like, we're poor,
I'm
okay?
going to stand flat-footed and say in 5 to 6 years,
That baby gonna have some Tom Fords or some
something.
Christian
She gonna
Louboutins or some Valentinos.
she gonna have something for some dance or some special occasion. Mom
Okay,
and her mama is good. I just felt like I should just make it happen for her
Lord.
because she's just such a good kid and she's just out here really crushing it.
Hold on. Okay. Hi, Lord. Yeah. So what she's saying right now, you and I both know the only way that's going to happen is if I find a sugar daddy. So can we get on that? Because that sounds like it would be great. Because if I'm buying her Tom Fords, then I'm getting Tom Fords. So
Girl.
yeah, if we could just manifest that I find some I don't just need a sugar because I got used. So if he could be like a really nice guy, maybe a little bit taller, because we all know that
Girl.
he wasn't very tall. So
She's just out here
tall, dark,
wilding.
handsome,
Just wilding.
like super
Yeah.
wealthy, so that I can make this happen.
That drone business gonna be successful.
Yeah. No, I don't want to be a strong woman. Don't listen to her. God,
she is
stop
gonna
listening to her. I know she is
she
better.
gonna flip
No,
the
I
script
know.
because watch, something's gonna happen this summer and S is gonna get something that she has been like, no.
Pool passes.
I thought, we aren't
She's
doing
still on the
much
main
this
line with the
summer. She's still on the main line, but we're not
Father?
paying her a lick of attention. She is
Father,
still on the
stop
main line.
listening to her. I know she's
Tried to dial him
I
and
know.
tell him what she wants.
She won't, and this ain't it. But
I know she is a better child. I know.
Girl, hang up with the Lord. Hang up with the Lord.
You and Shannon
Lord.
have a much better relationship than I do, and I know that. But if you could just do me a solid and just listen to her, because clearly she wants this for me. Okay? She wants this for me. So she is a
That's a
good
perfect clip.
soldier, and you are going to do what she wants. Okay?
She hollering at the Lord.
Yeah. Father.
anywhere. You think the Lord wants you yelling at him?
But no, I do think about that when I was
He's
like
still
looking at
talking.
all the prom stuff. It was wild business.
Okay, I love you
And
too. Goodbye.
it was a lot of black. I mean, that's what popped up. And it's probably like my algorithm, whatever.
Not sure this is a big thing. I'm curious. I don't think it is. I don't get the impression that it's a big thing in the white community or the non people of color. Like it's sort of like while I think it's a very distinctly black thing,
Mhm.
as quinceañeras are,
Yeah.
that's culturally a Latina
Sure.
thing, but to the extent that they really like go
There's definitely a
bananas
difference.
about
Yeah,
them
it's
and take
different.
them to the next level, I think that's a distinctly their thing.
Yeah.
And
It
then,
was
to the extent bat mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs, that kind of thing. So I think
this is
culturally
our thing.
different,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
different groups have their thing.
they definitely, because I've watched enough of, the little rich white girls go crazy, but it's a different crazy, right?
It
It's a
is. It's a different
different,
standard of like not zoo animals, farm animals. Like
right. See,
I've
they're just
seen
having like cocktail parties that, like,
maybe black folks out here with farm animals. We
yeah,
got
And we
no,
coming
no, no, no. This is like a
in on
cocktail party with
men
like catering,
carried like
caterators, and then send them
Cleopatra.
off and
yeah,
you're done.
but
That's the white out of this
We
realm.
out here with backup
Oh,
dancers, concert
yeah.
lighting.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that I'm like, do I love watching the content? Yes. But
But
at
you
the
can't wrap
same
your head
time, am
around
I
it.
like, what in the actual hell is happening?
That's
Also,
how I
yes.
was. And I went down a rabbit hole for like an hour and a half. And I was like, what is happening here? And some of it, I mean, it's from different levels, but it goes back to what you said. Because I kept saying, if you are buying Tom Ford shoes for your junior prom, what do you have to aspire to? Because what does graduation look like? What does wedding look like? And I
Lived
hate
up
that
to my Manolos.
our community is thinking that we're not going to get any further than.
Think that our community does think that. I don't think so. I
But
think
didn't
I
you
that
say that
certainly
that's
hope
what that
not.
no, I
conversation will.
said, but that was somebody of LV's hue that was
Sounds like
Okay.
saying that.
I was
That
gonna
was
Okay.
say
saying
that sounds like someone that's melanin is
that was
closer to
somebody
mine.
spouting some
Okay.
very
Racist
tropey.
comments. That was the okay, I remember the video and the white woman was saying the hood prom.
Mhm.
LV's cousin.
Well, wait, but she meant well, and she did apologize for it.
And she didn't mean well. She knew what she was doing. That's
Yeah,
passive
Do you
she knew what she
aggressive.
was
think? I
saying.
actually like
Yes.
that creator though.
Well, that's
If you
okay.
gonna
Well,
get on Beyonce and Al Gore's internet and say the reason that black folks are doing
Oh,
this,
no, 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 no. No, I think we're talking about a different I'm talking about the girl from last year's prom who was sitting in her car that was like, I don't know how to say this, but it's hood prom season. I'm so excited. And I'm really sorry if that's not the way I was supposed to say it, but I'm just really excited because you all look so beautiful and you all do all these crazy things. And I love watching it.
it was
I'm
a
talking about
white
that.
woman that was very country. So I think she was from Murfreesboro and she said she loved to see black prom season, or she may have called it hood, but I
No,
think
we're
she was.
talking about a different I'm
So
talking
she was
about a girl who
excited
lives
to
in
see it.
Brooklyn.
No, this
Yeah.
lady was like, I don't want anybody to be offended, but I do love to see black people with the prom. But she wasn't offensive. I don't think she called it hood prom. And I get it because I remember her accent being so strong. She was from
Yeah.
Murfreesboro. But
And the girl I'm talking about is just very much like me. She's just like, I'm probably saying this wrong, but that's how it keeps coming up as the hashtag. And I love it and I'm obsessed with it and I can't stop watching it. And I'm so excited that it's back. She gives that, the one that I'm talking about gives that energy. Whoever fucking said that they're doing this because they can't, like, that is fucking insane, you fucking.
yeah, I don't understand that. But it does make you look at it though. And you think, like, what are the parents thinking? What is the next step? Reasonably. Like,
Yeah.
what is the next step that you're
They're
getting?
probably not thinking about that,
It's
but
in the moment. And
I
so
highly doubt they're like, this is the only time we're gonna get to do. Fuck you, you fucking dumb piece of shit who probably lives in a milk toast sundown town and has never even fucking met a person who come.
just had a moment. So I digress.
I'm so sick of racist people. I keep hearing them and I'm
I
just
know.
tired of it.
But seeing The footage is very interesting to go through, and I just wonder, the moms that are out here allowing their daughters to go out and look, like princesses and appropriate, we commend you. The other ones,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here, and why we are allowing this, but I can tell you that it wouldn't have happened with me.
Women should be allowed to wear whatever they want and not be
Women,
touched. Girls, any human should be able to wear whatever they want and not be touched inappropriately, not have inappropriate things said in their, but especially when we are not fully adults yet. How about we just, keep some things to the imagination?
I have seen
But
all kind
that's what they wanted,
I saw
and
side boobs, and I'm
they'll
like,
say you're trying to body shame them.
it's not body shaming, it's not appropriate, and it was one girl that I saw that was girl, she couldn't even get in the prom, but her dress, like, and she was a nice sized girl, and they wouldn't let the school administration was like, "No, you can't come in." Like,
Because it probably
everything was
went against the dress
see-through.
code.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, I mean, barely any cover on top of her private. Like, it was bad. I'll send it to y'all, and I was like, "Okay, but where's her mom?" Like, it went viral, but this could have stopped, like, because your mom could have stopped this.
Said, yeah, I don't think this is appropriate. I mean, I kind of understand letting a little side boob show because, like, as someone whose boobs basically hang to their knees now at 43, like, enjoy them while they're perky, but, like,
Look at Shannon's face.
she's like, still absolutely not.
I'm just telling you what these kids out here saying. They will tell you, why are you trying to shame me? Why are you, my mother bought it. She thought she was fine with it, so you shouldn't have no problem with it. That's kind of all the things we hear about young people attire. And I'm somebody who I usually keep my thoughts to myself because I'm like, just because they make it in your size don't mean you got any business
Oh, that's
wearing
my
it.
favorite saying. My mom put that one in, though.
But these younger Gen Zers, Alpha generation, baby, they believe they made it in my size so I can wear it.
I don't
Yeah.
believe
Doesn't
in that. I don't believe in that at
because
all, and I think about you should look like you have to know what is the look that you're trying to curate, right? Like, if you see a size 2 to 6 in something and you are a 22, not gonna look the same. Just don't do it.
I mean, you could try it.
But it's not gonna look the same.
Right.
So, but it goes back, parents, back in my day, parenting has changed. This would not have happened. You would not have gone out of the house like that. You would not have on stripper heels either. You have age appropriate
Yeah.
shoes because you don't know how to walk in them.
Yeah.
The makeup, it's different because I can remember prom makeup being makeup, but it wasn't like a lot. But
Well,
people weren't wearing lashes and things then
yeah.
back when I went to prom. So
I
now
mean,
lash is a common practice.
y'all gotta yeah, I used to do hair and makeup for prom, right? And I remember this is actually kind of a funny story. I had this girl, it was the first time I had ever met her. I was doing just her makeup
Mhm.
for I can't remember. I think she was a junior, but it was like she was dating a guy who was a senior. This girl was princess, right? Like lashes, all I mean, and so after I finished, I went back and was like saying to a couple of my stylist friends, God, I pity the fool who has to do her hair and makeup on her wedding day. Guess who did her hair and her makeup on her wedding day?
She came back
Yeah.
to you. Was it
Yeah.
bad?
No, I mean, it was a lot easier. Plus, I had obviously known her for many years by that point.
It was a
I mean,
lot.
she did make the cover of State College Bride magazine.
well,
Was
She
that's
so
looked
good.
gorgeous.
I just
Like they want to look like they're walking the red carpet of the Oscars. And I'm like,
because of social media.
right, but you're 16, 17, 18 years old.
And that makeup can age you too. And I want people to
Yeah.
realize that the
More
makeup
often than
can
not.
age you, and but I also don't remember my mom wearing a lot of makeup either. So I guess that's kind of like you just don't wear a lot of makeup, and so you follow in that trend. So you weren't gonna be wearing a lot of makeup, looking like, a hooker, a woman of the night. There were
She was
certain things that you
hilarious.
just could not do.
well, it's changed. I just looked over at I have my high school prom picture with my
Mhm.
best friend hanging on my wall, and I don't think I have on any makeup. I may have on a little lipstick, but I don't think I have on any makeup.
I had makeup, but
I
it
had
was,
makeup.
like, very, very subtle. It was one of those, like, a little eyeshadow, but maybe some powder. It was probably a MAC NC 45.
Yeah.
that kind of
I
thing.
remember that.
It was a little powder foundation, but nothing that
So, like, none of those were things when 'cause I'm older than you guys,
Yeah.
so none of
mhm.
those were things when I was coming through high school, like, it was fashion fair.
And fashion
That
fair
was
was
it.
thick, baby.
But, like, yeah, I'm looking at the picture, and I don't think my best friend nor I have on any makeup. I think I have on lipstick, and
Mhm.
that's, like,
Yeah,
it.
some
And the
lips. Your
big
lips stood out because you didn't wear that every day. It was
not
a
at
step up. It
all.
was a notch up from what you wear. And okay, it's formal, but it's different. And I guess moms just change with the times, right? I guess because moms are now on social media, so they're seeing these things and they want their kids not to be left out.
And that
It
is that because, I think back to, I mean, my mom was Miss Cookie. I called her Martha Stewart minus the jail time. And she was a lot older than most of my friends' moms, right? So, different era, grew up differently, all those
Mhm.
things. And so she wouldn't let me get Doc Martin combat boots like all my friends. I could get as many Doc Martin Mary Janes as I wanted, but the combat boots, absolutely not. There were things, and so that may be why I rebelled some.
I think
Well,
that
I
that's
find
definitely
myself
why.
kind of doing the opposite. I'm like, oh, they're all wearing white fox sweatshirts. Like, do we want to get a white fox sweatshirt for her? Just I do find myself doing that. I'm just saying, not to bring it back around, but we're not going to go. But, I do think because I do it too. We don't want them to get bullied.
Is that what it is now? Do we think that it's the
I,
bullying?
for me, some of this stuff is I know what they go after. And so I'm kind of trying to almost
Stop it before it happens.
not get, they're kids are awful. Kids are going to bully you about so many things. If there's something that I can control, I might do it, right? If it is within reason, if it is something that I prime example, making sure that she has Nike or Adidas sneakers
Mhm.
and not Walmart brand, right? Because we live in a very affluent area. And I know that some of that stuff, some kids do make fun of other kids for that. And so we spend a lot of time understanding that that's not important, right? Because I don't want her to hear other kids get made fun of and think that that's okay.
Yeah. That was one thing that I remember. I always heard
blood
people.
sugar
You okay?
alarm.
That's what I was wondering. But shoes and that kind of stuff. My mom was like, I always want you. And my parents did a great job. Like, you never had buddies. That's what they called them. You don't have buddies. Like
Yeah, that's the other thing. They had to
those,
fit properly. You had to have good
mhm,
shoes because you didn't want to get bunions. You
bad
didn't want to get
feet.
malformed feet.
Yeah, and it was like you're always gonna have good shoes and nice clothes. They don't have to be designer, but they have to be nice and they're gonna last long. And you don't want to get picked on. And so, I'm always laughing when people say, "Oh, Easter hadn't been the same since Payless closed." And I was like, I never had Payless shoes. Like,
Yeah,
I never had them
I
because my
didn't
mom was
either.
like, "No, we're not doing that
Yeah, I
because
didn't
they'll mess
either.
up your feet." Yeah. So, I guess
We had to go to
moms may
Stride
have
Right and have someone make sure that
measure.
they fit me properly. They were wide enough in the toe box. They were high
Absolutely.
enough in the instep, all that.
And so maybe I can say that my mom created a little bit of a monster.
My mom certainly created a
Maybe
monster.
she did because now I like nice things. Thanks, mom. And I remember her buying a Dooney and Burke, and she was like, "Stacey has to have one too." And my dad was so pissed, so pissed. So she kind of started me on the designer bag thing. But mine was little. But she was like, "Yeah,
Still
we
have my
went."
first Ernie and Burke, I think.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know where it is. But yeah. But shout out to all the moms. Don't let
Yeah.
social media teach you how to raise your girls. Okay, please.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Yes.
And happy Mother's Day to all the single parent dads that are doing both roles. You're seen too.
Yeah. And thoughts for everyone that's mom is no longer here. Yeah.
Because even if you had a shitty one, you probably still miss her.
All right.
Until next week,
We don't do that at the end.
Well, I did it.
just out here wilding.
Check out
So,
our
friends,
Substack.
until next week, it's been real. Yeah, check out our Substack. All the
Check out
things.
all of our things.
Do it all,
And you know
baby.
what? How
Bye,
about,
everybody.
you know what? No, Shannon, I got a thought. I want people to show the moms, I want to see prom pictures of your babies. Post those
Huh?
on our, yeah, post the pictures. Go on our page and
Well,
post
and we want to
pictures.
see your prom photos too. Let's just have a prom-tastic.
Yeah, I want to see what you look like at prom. And then your babies, since we talked about prom today.
Okay.
Share.
Yeah.
All right.
Now you can say until next time.
Until next time. Until next week, friends.
Toodles!
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You made it to the end of this episode of the A Collective.
Hit like, follow, comment, and share it with the group chat.
Otherwise, Stacey might come for you.
Yikes.
I know, so do it.
Thursdays are for chaos and new episodes of the A Collective.
Not the A-list.
No.
I'm going to get the name right this season.
Where's Stacy? She's not here today. If I
do you
hit
know-
mute,
I got a great lead in.
we're going to divide and conquer. What happened?
I don't know. It just dropped her. We can't
She's
hear you.
here.
Yeah, but it just dropped her. We can't hear you.
Come back. Look at her face, though. This was fun.
It says you're on your iPhone microphone. I can't switch it. Go on to the tool. Oh, now it says no microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I don't need that Apple. I don't need my iPhone to be connected to my.
I hope y'all can't hear that because they're blowing.
It's fine. Did you not
Remember
watch our
the-
cold open?
No.
Nope.
I did. Because I was like, she's still worried. But, you're,
I was just going to say, I'm sorry. Is that your house?
that doggone home phone is ringing.
It might be Shannon calling me, guys. Hello?
It is not.
No, where's
Take me
my
forever.
mouse?
No, but I...
Wow, you're either a super fan or crazy. Thanks for being part of the collective. See you next Thursday.